Okay. Good evening once again. Hope you all had a very wonderful week. If it was a bit with ups and downs, sorry about that. But yeah, we look forward to the better week in the starting today or tomorrow to some of different the difference in hours. Today we are going to tackle pre-production mainly. And last week we had a recap on microphones and also had a run through DAWs. So today we are now covering pre-production. And yeah, we are 11 for now. So I'll just run through really fast. Okay. I'm now going to start with this column that we have of 12. Yeah, it's exactly 4 minutes of 6 or 5 to other countries. Here in Uganda, it's 6. I believe Rwanda and Serbia, it's 5. Okay.
Yes, it's fine.
Okay. So pre-production. What does pre-production refer to? Pre-production is basically before production. How do you prepare yourself before the production? Okay, it's really a crucial phase because it involves proper planning and preparation to ensure that the sound designer and the director are in line when it comes to the vision and where they want to focus the production. So it's during this phase that the two, or the sound designer and all other departments, will liaise to have like their vision focused and run towards achieving that. The importance of this is pre-production will help you avoid last-minute issues and also smoothen the process, not just the production process, but also during rehearsals or the first phase of production. It will also contribute to a cohesive and professional final product. Because you've been able to prepare before, that means the final day will run smoothly. You will avoid a lot of issues that might turn up before, during production, because you are able to take some time and like run through this production and prepare accordingly. We will cover the essential steps, and by the time we wrap this class, I believe we'll know how a sound person effectively plans for a successful production. Okay. The first thing that we always deal with as engineers or any other person in production is the script. So we are now going to basically focus on script analysis. I mean, because whatever we are working on, be it a song, when you write it, its lyrics is the script that you're following. Dance, it also has a storyline that you are following. Poetry is the same. Stage dramas and musicals are the same. Even film, it's the same. The script is the blueprint to everything. So it's something that we should always be able to respect and ask for whenever we join the production. If it's not written, at least let the director run through the storyline so that you get to know what you're dealing with. And it will be upon that that you will take your personal analysis to see what you need to get. When you're understanding this narrative first, it's the story. What are they talking about? Okay. With the story, we have 6. I will refer to drama. Drama has, when they are writing a play, there are usually 6 elements that are followed. That's the plot line, the characters, dialogue, spectacle, music, stroke rhythm, and yeah, I think I've mentioned all the 6. Yeah, setting is spectacle, but sometimes I add on the 7th one, which is audience. Okay, so as we read this script, we need to focus on the story, understanding the story. What is the plot line? Where is it beginning? Where is it ending? After understanding the storyline, understand the characters. Who is your key character? Even in dance, we have the lead. Poetry, there is. Musicals, there are leads. So who is your main lead character that you need to focus on in this storyline? What are the key events that are happening in this story? Take time to read and understand those elements. Then read to understand what are the themes that you're going to deal with. Okay? You might find that there is the main theme, and then there are other sub-themes that you need to understand. The themes will be able to help you understand the message that you are talking about. The themes will also lead you to the next one, which is the emotional tone. Because you've been able to understand the themes that are being dealt with in this production, then you'll be able to understand the emotional tone. As you read the script, find which area has the high and the low feels as you read it, okay? And I highlight the emotional tones. One thing I forgot to mention is as you're reading this script, always have a pencil. I won't advise a pen because with a pen, you can't erase. But so whenever you're dealing with a script, always have a pencil because you'll be able to note your thoughts. Okay? That's how you're going to be able to note your thoughts. Down as you read through the script, you'll be able to note and know that this is what I'm focusing on. So as you read, get your pencil, note all these things. Who is my lead character? How do I understand the story? What are the themes that I'm dealing with? Write your thoughts down, and that later on, if something is not working for you, you will come back, erase, and replace it with something that works for you. That's the reason I emphasize that let's use pencils. And it's professionally advised that we use pencils rather than using pens, okay? The other thing, as you read the script, are you able to identify the different sound requirements that you need in this story? Okay? As you read, mark those scenes that require heavy sound enhancement. As you go through this story that you're reading, be able to identify the scenes that require proper enhancement. Be able to identify the mood and atmosphere that you're dealing with in this storyline, okay? And what sound will be able to contribute to enhance this storyline come to life. As you read this script, also be able to identify the different sound types that you will need to highlight. Is it dialogue? Is it the backgrounds? Or is it the music or sound effects? So as we read this script, let's take time to One, identify where we are, which is the location. The location will be able to determine what you're going to like cover. Okay. Like reading through this script, one of the major importances of pre-production and script analysis is, as a sound engineer, you'll have informed decisions on whatever you're going to choose to use in this production. With informed decisions, you'll know why you are placing some sounds where you want to place them. You'll know what type of sounds you're going to use depending on the script, because the script is able to tell you where we are, which is the location, the time that we are dealing with, and this is usually expressed in the scene descriptions or through the dialogue. In the 6 elements that I mentioned of drama, which is the plot line is there basically to give you the flow, the general understanding of the story that you're dealing with. The second element, which is theme, is helping you to highlight the different themes or emotional plays that you're going to be dealing with. Are you dealing with love, hatred, happiness, or joy? Like the different themes that you're going to be identifying as you read the script. And then the characters, through the characters, we will be able to identify the kind of personalities or people you're going to deal with. Characters vary also. We have human characters, we have animals. When it comes to puppetry, those are also characters. So you'll be designing for different things, but it also takes time to understand these characters, the way you're going to deal with them when it comes to sound design. Okay. Still, reading through this script as you prepare, it will help you take creative decisions, and besides being informed, it helps you to take creative decisions as you're discussing with the director and other departments. Okay. It will help you highlight and know which areas in this story do I need to enhance. Which areas in this story do I need to highlight more and give or make darker? Then reading through this storyline will help you understand how to deal with the audience. It will help you highlight at what moment do I pull my audience close? How do I want my audience to feel as a sound designer? Bearing in mind that you're not dropping the director's vision. So understanding this storyline that you're dealing with helps you to understand. Also, during pre-production is the time you also get time to engage with the director to know what's the age group of the people you're going to showcase to, because different age groups require different designs. The way you entertain kids is not the way you entertain the teenagers, is not the way we entertain people in their 20s and 30s, and it's not the way we capture, like captivate and entertain people in their 60s and so on. So being able to understand your audience, which also has to happen before you start the production and during the pre-production phase, it will help you package well and take informed decisions when you're selecting the sound effects or selecting the music or whatever role you're playing as a sound designer. We'll take a sample a scene where our character is walking through a forest at night. So as a sound designer, what are some of the sound needs that might be captured in that moment? One, we have identified the location, which is the forest, and the time. It's at night. With the forest, we know we have that forest ambience embedded with the crickets because it's at night. Then we have the rustling of the clothes as he's walking because the character is walking. Then we have cross rustle. Then we have the footsteps. So as you're reading this script or going through the different things, I'll be able to identify the things or how the character is reacting with these other things. That will help you determine and identify the different sounds that you need to focus on or highlight. But always be able to consult with the director to see whether what you think works for them. Then as we read through during the pre-production phase, we'll be able to identify the right placement when it comes to the sound cues, and we'll be able to identify what prompts that. Okay, you'll be able to identify where do I need to place this sound, and why am I deciding to use this particular sound. When I talk about when it comes to timing of playing the cue, this sound, one, we identify when do I play it? Is it after a certain action, or is it before? Is it after someone says a particular line, or is it before? This you have to prepare before the show starts, so that you all agree, and then take time to rehearse. Pre-production covers also the rehearsal period. Rehearsal also is under pre-production. Pre-production phase is wide. It starts from the time you are contacted to get on the project to the time they share the NDA with you. After they've contacted you, the productions usually share NDAs, which we call non-disclosure agreements. And I want to call upon all of you that every time you sign that NDA, or even without signing an NDA, respect the privacy of the production. Do not talk about the different production you're dealing with other friends or other colleagues, or even your other bosses, because it's breaking the agreement. It's not ethical to talk about the production unless production has permitted you. Someone from the producers or the administrative body has permitted you to talk about it. Never talk about people's productions. There is that ethical consideration. Okay. I was talking about sound, like the pre-production phase. It involves, it's from the time you're contacted to the time of the first production. Okay. So before the first production, we should always plan and keep everything in sync. Keep experimenting. It's the only time we have to experiment, whatever we desire to experiment. After that, there is no more time for experimentation. It's just do it. We never have chance for mistakes. Unlike film, where they have a different take, with a live production, or call it stage production, we only have one take, no second chance. The show starts until when it ends, you have no room for mistakes. For film, you can correct the mistakes in post-production. Even call actors to do redubs and ADR. Okay. Breaking down the script. One, as you read through the script, understand the different actions. Highlight, is it a heavily action-driven storyline, or is it a dialogue-driven storyline? Then, as you read through this, highlight the actions that need proper or more time during the pre-production. If you need to highlight them, be it fighting sequences, if you need to highlight the boxing sound effects, if you need to highlight the heavy footsteps that are involved in the action sequence, be able to highlight them as you read through the script. You will be able to either note these highlights in the script or get a handbook. I forgot to mention that. Always have a notepad somewhere where you write your information of whatever you think might work, or write in the script where the scene is actually happening, or under the line that you're interested in. Then as you read through this dialogue, pay attention to what dialogue needs proper enhancement or support, because as a sound engineer, if you're highlighting these are different scenarios in the scene, identify which scene has more emotional beats and put it into consideration that some actors are low on that. This takes us to understanding the characters also when we are dealing with them. Are you able to listen to these actors and know which actor has a weak voice, which actor has a properly pronounced voice? So that as you're preparing the microphones for them, you know that this needs to be boosted. This one needs to be cut because it's naturally audible. Then which sequences in their dialogue are very low and need to be pronounced, that at a particular level during production, their voices got this low, and then when they are saying this line, I might need to slightly push their levels. This is something that you have to highlight during the pre-production phase. It shouldn't just happen during the day of production. Then understanding the setting. Where are we? Are we indoors or are we outdoor? What nature of sounds or environmental sounds are in that location? Is it winter? If it's winter, how does it behave? Is it summer? Are we in the market or are we at the play field? Are we in a school or are we in a home? Be able to identify that setting, that location you're in, because different locations have different characters when it comes to background sounds. Okay. And as we run through this script, also let's be able to identify these sounds that need proper enhancement and emphasis. Okay. If someone is in that storyline, the person is diving into a swimming pool, do we need to hear that water splash? Identify those areas that might need proper enhancement and emphasis. Is someone knocking at the door? Do I need to create that, or will it be audible during the production, depending on the material that is being used by the set designer? How am I transitioning from one sound effect to the other? How am I transitioning the music? Okay. The emotional beats. Are you able to identify these different moments that where you will need to identify, like highlight and boost the emotions, let it be through sound effects or through music? If it's a very heavily emotional scene, as you read it or as you run through it with the director, be able to identify it and then note it, that this scene requires this kind of emotional play when it comes to music and sound effects. Okay. And just mainly with sound cues here, I will emphasize the issue of transition, because if we have poor transitions, that means we are going to mess the other flow of the performance. So as you're preparing and reading through this script or running through the rehearsals, be able to master the transitions. Then as we read through this script and during the rehearsals in the pre-production phase, let's be able to identify the critical scenes that will are really pivotal in the storyline, that this is the scene that highlights everything in the story, or that scene that is really key in the and heavy in this storyline. Be able to identify it and know and assess how much time do I need to give this particular scene during pre-production. Which scene is heavy when it comes to sound effects? Okay. And background sounds. Do I need to go and re-record, pre-record these sounds and come back in studio and deal with them, then go for rehearsals? Or it's something that I can record during the rehearsal and then use it for the production? Or I don't need this. Identify all these heavy scenes during pre-production and then assess and know what time you need to deal with them and what exactly you need to capture and use before the production runs. Be able to note the different ambient sounds that are required during the different, as you read through this script, identify what ambient sounds do I need in the different scenes. Is it traffic, birds chirping in a distance, school ambience? What do I need to help me enhance this scene or this entire storyline? What special effects or special effect sounds do I need in this that the story talks about? Is it someone being called and we have a phone ring? Then I highlight that and know that I'm going to need this. Is it the footsteps that are coming in that prompt someone to take a certain action on stage? Highlight that because it's happening off stage. That means you need to enhance it in the PA. Then the background music. As you read through this script, you'll be able to identify and highlight the right feel that you need to use in this production. Then still, as you prepare and read through this script, Be able to create your own visual map. Draw the images and highlight. For instance, this is a quick illustration, highlighting that in my foreground, I have a track that passes somewhere. I have a homestead that has music playing somewhere. There are houses in the neighborhood. There is a lawnmower in the neighborhood. So be able to draw and get the right visual understanding of the different scenes, depending on your understanding of the location as you read. Someone is writing in the screen. Okay, thank you. As you read through this story, how do you visualize it? Depending on how you visualize it, draw those images and then place them according to your preference. What do you visualize is in the foreground, what comes next, and what is in the far distance. The visual interpretation will help you achieve the right design and mix. Okay? Then also be able to write down a detailed plan on how you want your different cues to flow according to timing. Write that I play the bird's effects when the actor moves his left hand to touch this phone. I play this music track when the actor or actor A says, "Let me come." Be able to highlight all your cues as you prepare. I've already run through that. This is as you read through your script, be able to highlight the different scenes also. What does it talk about in this scene? What are the special ambient sounds for this particular scene? We've already highlighted the special needs for the entire storyline. Now we are going to on scene by scene analysis. How many characters do I have in this scene? That will prompt how many mics. If you're miking each individual, you know how many characters you have to deal with in this particular scene. If they are sharing like microphones, you would be able to know that when we transition from scene 2, these actors, two actors exit and they will come back in scene 8. So their mics can be shared between scene 3, 4 to 7 by so-and-so character. You can only do that if you take time to analyze your different scenes. Then, what kind of, I've talked about the ambience that you need to use. What special effects do I need to apply in this particular scene? Is it a scene that requires the phone effects? Is it a scene that requires bomb blasts? Is it a scene that requires bells ringing in the distance because there is a school that is letting kids go like after classes? What kind of music? Is it a scene that requires hyper music? Is it a scene that is really too emotional that I need to use pianos, soft pianos to highlight the emotions? Is it a scene that requires violins? Is it a scene that requires heavy grooves because it's a happy moment? So analyze each scene and note its requirements as you go through it. Still, for each scene, be able to do that visual diagram, break it visually. Have your visual map of scene by scene, and also have your written list of whatever you need to use according to scene. You have the general plot or the general storyline demands, but also have scene by scene needs noted down. Then during pre-production, if production allows you to visit the location, be happy for that. Or if they don't talk about it, suggest it. Reason being, it will help you to understand the space before you come for the final day of production. And as you visit that location for Reiki, do a proper acoustic assessment. How does it sound naturally? How is its reverberation? Is it something that is easy to deal with, like to do sound treatment? Is it a location that will enable me have sound check before, according to the rules and regulations in that space? Sometimes you might be in a location and you're performing on 12th, but the day before on 11th, there is a production that is happening. Will you be able to do sound check? Do all those assessments as you visit this location, okay? Is it something that you can treat? I've mentioned that according to the amount of reverb that is there. How does the room sound? Be able to assess that and know what to carry on the final day or the day before, so that you can make that room or that location match your vision of how you want it to sound for the audience and the performers. Then familiarize yourself with the stage. How does it look? How big is it? Okay. What texture is it? Is it a metallic stage? Is it wooden, or is it plain floor? This will inform you how your sound will, because sound reflects different according to different textures. Also, knowing the size of the stage or the location would inform you on what kind of instruments or machines do you need to use. If it comes to speakers, what kind of speakers do you need to use? If it comes to microphones, what kind of microphones are good for this kind of location? Okay, but this all happens during this stage of pre-production. So as you visit the location, be able to assess that. Where is the audience going to sit? What is the seating arrangement? That will determine your speaker placement. Okay, is it just the normal proscenium stage of the stage is on one side and the audience is facing it? Or is it an amphitheater? Okay, is it a thrust stage that it enables the audience to be on the sides of the thrust? Be able to assess that. Then the backstage area, how is it? Is it wide enough to enable my movement to be able to access my equipment during the production? Always leave something where, like space where you can move, pass to access your equipment during production. Reason being, something might go off, and the principle is what can go wrong may go wrong. Always remember that. And as you prepare for this production, assess every possibility of something that might go wrong. Is it power? Is it in the connection of the like battery life for the lapels? Is it the microphone dropping? Assess all the possible like problems that might occur during this production. Note them and then plan accordingly. If this happens, how do I overcome it? Okay. So that's why it's important for you to familiarize yourself with this location, the backstage area. If I need to move from from the left side of the stage to the right side, where do I pass? If fire breaks out, where do I pass to secure the equipment? If power goes off, where do I run? Also, as you visit this location, be able to assess where are the power points, where are the emergency exit routes, where are the urinals and all places of convenience. Those are also important. We ignore that and only focus on the technical demands, but we should also think about these other things that are also humane to everyone, okay? But all this should happen before you go for the final production during the pre-production phase. Then as you visit this location, be able to identify the possible challenges that might happen. Background noise. Is it a location that is located next to the road? And what time is it usually noisy? Is the time that let's say you're performing at a location next to a school, and the time that you're allocated for is colliding with the time when the kids are in for break time. Are you able to assess that and know how you will deal with that? Because you've been able to identify that, oh, at this time, the kids are also in for break, and it's the same time that we are going to be running the production. How will I deal with this? Plan accordingly. So assess all the background noise challenges that might occur. Then I've already mentioned you being able to assess and identify how echoish is this location, the room, okay? What kind of reverb am I getting according to in time? What kind of material will I use to dampen and make this location sound better? Assess all those challenges. Then when it comes to interference, many times as audio engineers, we use wireless machines, be it lapels, be it cordless microphones. Now that we are in a digital era, it's very hard to avoid dealing with frequencies. And dealing with frequencies, that means we are viable to face interference. So as you visit the location, assess, is there a mast that is close by? Are there any diplomatic offices that are nearby this location? Because we know that areas that are next to embassies or any other places of diplomacy, there are usually some buggers. So be able to assess that, okay? If it's a must, which frequencies is it dealing with? Is it a frequency that might easily run into my frequency band that I'm using? If it's so, then we prepare and know that I will have to avoid this frequency band. So I'll deal with this other one because it's the open one. Still with interference, sometimes when it comes to live events, there are some diplomats that come to attend these events and they have their security detail. Their security detail usually has radio calls. These radio calls sometimes can be matching frequencies with the kind of wireless transmissions that we have. Are you able to do like liaise with the production to talk to that protocol to know if they are to use that, and then you plan accordingly, or do your background search and know what frequencies are usually used by are used by this security detail, and then you avoid that. Okay. Then the importance of this is mainly to help you know, have better clarity when it's with sound when it comes to the final day, because you've been able to deal with the echo and the reverbs earlier. You've visited the location and done the assessment. That means on the final day you'll have clear and crispy sound. Then consistency, your drills, you've gone through it over and again. You've done the rehearsed the timing of the cues. You've already safeguarded yourself with frequency interferences. That means your mics and other devices will be constant when it comes to consistency in signal. You don't have any signal drops. Then it also helps you to do proper technical planning, know the right equipment that you have to know to use, and also know where exactly should I place a particular mic, where should I place my speakers, where should I place my equipment rack, let be it the laptops and so on. Then it will help you also understand proper cable management. Okay, because you've visited this location, you'll also be able to do a proper problem assessment, and then you'll be able to come up with the different solutions. Okay, and then it helps you because you've been able to run through these drills over and again during pre-production. That means you are now able to adapt to anything that comes up, and you are able to adjust whatever you need to adjust on time. Okay. When you visit this location, have this checklist. How does the room sound? Do that assessment too. What do I need to adjust? Then noise sources, be able to identify that. Then have like strategic plan on mitigating whatever challenges during the production in relation to noise. Then you should be able to also know where you we've run through this of where you place your microphones, where you place your speakers, where you place the monitor speakers for the actors. Then accessibility, how fast can I run to my equipment in terms of any, in case there is any emergency. Then what backups do I have? Because you've been able to assess early enough, you now already have all your run to or backup solutions on your fingertips. Then selecting gear. Reading through these scripts and visiting the locations will help you understand what kind of microphone do I need. Is it a dynamic microphone? In case I'm going to be in a very loud location, okay? It will help you. Is it a condenser microphone? Depending on the kind of action that I have and numbers. Or is it a Lavaria microphone? Do I need to give these actors body microphones? One, depending on the budget of the production, because you've run through this with the producer and the director, you've been able to know what technical demands they have in relation to what you want to use, and they'll be able to tell you that this is the budget that I have. Okay, so this pre-production phase is to help you make the right decisions on the kind of microphones that you're to use. If you have a big choir, what kind of microphones are you going to use? Okay. And when it comes to speakers, what kind of speakers am I going to use, depending on the nature of the location that I visited? What kind of monitors do I need to use, depending on the size of the stage? Okay. So pre-production is to help you do all those informed decisions in gear selection. If you're to record this production, this pre-production phase is to help you know and understand what kind of recorder is compatible with this kind of recording. Are you going to do just a stereo recording? That means you need to carry a simple recorder. Or am I recording multi-track? That means you need to use a particular gadget, and you will only be able to know that I need to use this kind of recorder after running through the script. You have assessed how many tracks you need in terms of microphones for actors. You've assessed how many tracks you need in terms of music playbacks. Is it just the laptop, or it's a live orchestra? Or do I have a chorus backstage or on stage? So that will help you to do all that assessment. Then considerations. If the venue is small, that means you'll know that I have to carry small speakers, or this size of speakers, to be able to cover and give me the right output for this venue. If it's the large venue, let's say we are outdoor in a pitch, or we are in a big indoor venue, you'll be able to know that, okay, I have this number of audience members. I need this big number or this size of speakers to use for this particular venue. Do the assessment early enough. Then sound requirements. Is it for dialogue scenes? How many microphones do I need to use? What kind of actors am I dealing with? Are they the actors that can project enough? What kind of venue am I dealing with? If the venue can't be covered by natural voices, that means I need to mic it. Okay? How heavy is the dialogue in the script? Then ambience. What kind of ambience do I need to record? We've already gone through some of this. Then when it comes to budget, we've identified whatever you need to use. How much is the producer willing to give me? Is it the kind of producer that will give me the full budget to cover everything that I need? If not, and he has like half or quarter of what we need, what priority? Then be able to identify those essential equipment that you need to use, so that they'll help you to identify, like, capture what you want to cover, not compromising on certain things. So be able to understand the kind and deal with the budgets that you are dealing with. Then there is the issue of quality versus cost. If they can't give you everything that you need, what is that alternative that can give you close to what you were dreaming to achieve, yet not compromising? Okay, it still fits in there, in what you want to capture. For instance, I will give an example of two microphones here. We have the Sennheiser MKH 416. It's a boom mic, and because it's really expensive, it's $1,000. There is another alternative microphone that can give you that, which is the Deity S Mic 2, which is almost half the price of that. So are you able to weigh and find that, okay, I can't get this, but there is this other tool that can talk about it, okay? I've already talked about these microphones that you need to use, what you need to consider. We've already run through microphones for 2 weeks. So be able to assess and know what kind of microphones I need to use. Then be able to do proper assessment and know where do I place my speakers and which kind of speakers do I need to use. Is it the large diaphragm? Is it the mid-size? Is it like, be able to assess according to the space that you're going to deal with. Then what kind of sound effects do I need to create according to the script? Do I need to record unique sounds, or do I need to go with the existing sounds according to nature? What is the story demanding? Okay. And what can I use to achieve this? When it comes to, if you want to, let's say, create follies, we'll talk about that. I know it's in one of the slides. Then when it comes to manipulating sounds, are you able to use these different sound softwares to achieve what you need to achieve? If the voice needs to be pitched, are you able to use that? If you need to pitch the music, if you need to stretch someone's voice and then it has some echoes or a certain sound effects according to time, are you able to use and manipulate these different softwares to be able to achieve your goal? Be able to experiment that before the production. Then sourcing of these different sound effects. Are you going to use the existing sound library, or you need to go to the field and record? Then quality checking. Do I have the right sounds? Are they working for the production? If they are not working, do I have other alternatives that can work for the director? Okay. If it's not on the right level, am I able to boost it? If the audio is cracky, is it able, am I able to run it through different softwares and make it sound better? Do a proper quality check before you go for the production. Then when it comes to editing these software sound effects, is it at the right volume? Or if it's too loud, am I able to reduce it to fit the right level that the director prefers, or the actors, that it's not affecting them? If it requires a reverb effect, can I add it, or do I need to cut this too much reverb that I already have in this effect? And that you will be able to achieve it with dealing with your EQs and compressors. Then if I want to achieve a particular effect, let's say we are dealing with war effects, am I able to layer these different sounds to have an enormous, like a mega blast? If it's a bomb blast, it's a war zone, do I layer the different gunshots in the background? Do I have, am I able to layer the different bomb blasts so that I'm able to achieve something that is really thick? Sometimes you might have like, let's say, gunshot, but it's not that bold enough to highlight the effect that you need to achieve. Are you able to give it a different layer, find another gun effect, and then you match them? Okay. The different, are you able to go and record new sounds that you might need to use? And what are the different sound recorders that I need to use? Last time someone asked for a list of the different recorders that can be used. And we have, am I going to use the H4N? Is it the Tascam DR40? Or like when it comes to handheld recorders, these are some of the high quality field recorders that are handheld. That's the Zoom H4N, the Tascam DR40, the Zoom H5, the Zoom H6. Those are all handheld recorders. For entry levels that they will record something good, but it's not highly professional. If you can use recorders like the Tascam DROS 05X, the Zoom H1N, or the Tascam DR07X. Then for mid-range, that's for they can pass for some professional recordings in studio and outdoor, and as well film. That's the H4N Zoom, the Tascam DR40X, the Zoom H5, and the Sony PCM D10. For high-end recording, excuse me, for high-end recording, go for recorders like Zoom H6, Tascam DR40X, the Mix Pre-10, that's a sound device Mix Pre-10, the sound device Mix Pre-6, the Zoom F4, the Zoom F6, and then to the highly professional league, you can use the sound device 664, sound device 663, the sound device 883, and so on, or the Cantor, or the Neumann. Like there are quite a number of recorders that are out there, so you can always check and take the right recorder depending on where you want to take this recording, or the technical spec demands for the broadcaster. Then the Foley techniques. Are you able to use things that can imitate the other sounds, not using the actual, because you can't get them? Let's say for the horse hooves, are you able to recreate its footsteps with the coconut shells? Are you able to use for the fire effects? Are you able to rub the cramping papers to create that fire effect? Are you able to use these different materials to duplicate this Foley effect? Be creative with it, depending on what you want to achieve. Then there are some sound libraries that are online on like websites like freesounds.org, SoundSnap, and Audio Django. Like all these different on sites offer a wide range of sound effects that you can go and get. Some are for paying for, others you can freely access them and download for use. Then for commercial collections, invest in professional sound libraries like those from Boom Libraries or Sound Ideas for high quality effects, because these are mainly for sale, and because they take time to record with the high specs. Okay. Then for audio editing softwares, are you able to run through these different audio editing softwares like Audacity, Pro Tools, Adobe Audition, Cubase, Nuendo, and so on? All these different softwares, familiarize yourself with the right software that you're really okay with. But that should happen before, not you going to really fidget during the production. Let's run through a quick effect of how you can create the thunderstorm effect. One, record or get rain, a recording of rain. Then you can record the thunder or get it online. Then record the wind. After this, layer, okay? Import all these different recordings, the rain, thunder, and wind. Then layer them and then start editing, like adding in the right reverb, amount of reverb that you think that works for you, adjusting the right levels to highlight what you want to be louder than the other. Do you want to highlight the rain more, or do you want to highlight the thunderstorm really heavy, or do you want to highlight the wind more? So it's during this editing process that you have to take the right decision depending on the kind of story that you are telling. During pre-production, before the production start, take time to understand and know your team members. Understand the kind of director that you are dealing with. What is their personality? What do they like and what don't they like? What is their vision for this story? Am I in line with the director's vision? What can I adjust? What am I willing to unlearn and learn under this director? Okay? Study the persona of this particular director you're going to work with. Then the actors, get to know their, like, how they behave. Get to know these actors, what is their technical challenges in terms of sound. Some actors have soft voice. What special needs do they have? When it comes to like, some actors want to be handled in a particular manner during or before and after the production. Are you able to take time to understand their characters? Actors are very like, yeah, their characters themselves. Their characters themselves. So you need to really take time and know them. It will help you know when to approach them during the time of miking, or even during the time that you need to play with the effects. Okay? Then the crew members, understand them, mainly the light designing team, and the key departments that you need to really get close to and understand how they work is light department, because sometimes their lights might be the source of noise for your microphones. You are running cables, sound cables and or microphone cables shouldn't get in line with light cables, because electricity and sound don't usually connect. They will give you like that harm in the background. So be friends, find ways of how you have to deal with them. Then the set design team. The set design team is going to influence a lot of things on how you're going to place your speakers, how you are going to do the different transitions. Sometimes you might be doing the transitions according to a change in prop. Okay? The set design team might be the key team that will be making noise for you. You have sensitive microphones, condenser microphones set on stage, but it's this set design team that is dragging a particular prop, set prop on stage. It's heavy. Learn them, find ways of dealing with them. Tell them that this affects me, and also listen to them when they tell you that this is affecting their process. Let's say you have a cable that is on the, like, is blocking where they have to pass their one of their props. be able to connect with them, okay, and understand them. Then the costume department, also get in touch with them. The production management team. These people can frustrate you, so you being able to understand them and understand their rules. When they say that I need my actors ready for production 20 minutes before that, that means you have to mic them before 20 minutes. Under this production management team is the first ADs, the stage managers or production managers, the production coordinators. These are the people that you're going to deal with when you need certain things. Production coordinators will help you secure your budget from the producers. They will give you the runaround money. So how are you dealing with them? Be able to know and familiarize yourself with the different people that you're working with in both cast and crew. Then the importance of this is that it smoothens the collaboration and understand each member's role. Okay? From the actors to the sound technician, to the directors, to the costumers. If you take time to understand each other, you will be in sync. You won't collide during the production. Then you'll also develop the right respect and trust amongst each other, because you've been able to understand and know each other. Still, because you've been able to understand and know your team, that means you'll have that smooth communication chain. It will be really crazy and weird for someone to communicate with someone they don't understand. Because you've taken time to understand each other, you'll be able to communicate. Many are the times when I'm on set, and because I'm able to communicate with the lights team, I can tell them that, oh, your gel is making noise for me. Can you help me work on it? Talk to the sound set designers. Tell them that that kind of chair that you've chosen, it's good, but it has this cracky sound. And they'll be able to adjust and help, because we have that bond. We've been able to connect. Then that mutual respect. And like, sometimes people will ignore you because you didn't bother to even greet them. You didn't bother to say hi and understand how they operate. So it will be difficult for you to get or overcome certain things that you want to overcome. Yeah, I've already talked about this, seamless integration, where you and the other departments are able to really integrate and work together in a better way, because you've taken time to understand each other. Even when you face a challenge, they will always be willing to come on board and help. Okay. Then professionalism, yes, I've hinted on that. Like cohesive team, present and more preferred. Like there'll be that a better way of working. It's a very harmonious workspace. You're able to communicate and work together, respect each other, and help each other. Then it's very easy for you to come up with solutions to the different problems that you might be facing during production, because you collaborate, you know each other, there is teamwork. It's a better support system because you've taken time to understand each other during this pre-production phase. Okay. Then there is a proper creative synergy. Like you can, because you are working as a team, you respect each other. sometimes you can have ideas and share ideas that help each other, okay? Than when you don't have that synergy, you can't even identify. You might see someone struggling with something and you just keep quiet because there isn't that togetherness, there isn't that collaboration. But because you've taken time to understand each other and collaborate, you'll be able to find working solutions together. Everything that happens affects each of you, okay? Will be very innovative because you're working together as a team. He who walks alone can just go a few miles, but those that work as a team, they can go miles, okay? Excuse me. Regularly have these progressive like update meetings, meet with the different people that you're working with so that you're able to assess the different stages that you've been able to reach at with the like you're giving these different departments updates, okay, the progressive report, then planning what other tasks that you need to do in the next like time before you go for the final product. You plan that in my week 1 I'm doing this, in my week 2 I'm doing this. By the time I come to the production, I've already covered that. Okay, be able to highlight everything and then allocate time accordingly depending on what you want to cover, okay? For some communication channels, you can use tools like Slack, Trello, or Asana to manage communication and tasks. These particular tools are software that enable you to keep checking your tasks and on progress. Like everything you do, you can fill in, and it can also send you reminders of when you need to do a certain thing because you already, it's like how you have the Google Calendar that you send and then it will send you reminders, okay? Then consistency. Ensure that you always have that smooth flow in communication and consistent with that when you deal with the different departments. If you always give updates to the director on a particular day of the week, do that. If it's every after the production rehearsal, then do that. Be consistent in everything that you do. It helps you to also be spot on when it comes to the production day. Understanding your role, what are your responsibilities? Be able to highlight that from the word go. Understand your role and responsibilities according to the demands of the director. Then what are their expectations? Okay? Make sure that you have clear understanding of the expectations of the director and the producers, depending on what they want you to do for this production. Then when it comes to feedback, give constructive feedback that is not just removing a blick from what is being built, but your contribution should be developmental. Okay, sometimes it might be harsh criticism or feedback that you need to really let out, but deliver it in a respectful manner. Find the right tone to deliver your message, okay? Then use this different criticism and feedback that is given to you always by different departments or directors to help you improve in whatever you're doing. because the main thing is we are looking forward to achieving a successful product. Okay? We are looking forward to achieving a successful production. So whatever you're being told, don't take it in a bad spirit. Embrace it. Okay? Okay. This is a sample script that we'll be using for our script analysis. I'm going to share this particular PDF immediately after this class so that you can read through. We'll refer to this script over and again for our assignments. Yeah. I'll do a quick read through. It's a script from a radio drama called Girls Gone Cuckoos. It was written by one of my colleagues called Catherine Bagaya. Yeah, she's a Ugandan playwright. So she permitted me to use a scene from one of our plays. And this, it goes like, location, it's exterior, roadside, evening. The sound effect of a bike stopping, cars and bikes passing. Kemi speaking. Don't tell me that excuse me. Don't tell me that your border has run out of fuel. The border man. Bansonyiwe na yesu okoveeko kanjiwunzike. Kemi. And we just passed by a petrol station. I just don't understand you border men. Border man. Madam, bino ebintu bibaawo naye tofaayo tugenda. Kemi. I don't have time for this. Here, have your money. Border man. But this is just 2,000. We agreed for. Kemi. Before. Don't be funny. Is this my final destination? I told you I was going to Liver Bar, not the roadside. Border man. Nyabo, guminkiriza, let me shake the fuel. Let me shake the fuel out of this reserve tank and we go. Kemi, my friends are waiting for me. Border. Sound, bike stops. Kemi, Sebo, Wama take me to Livaba. Bike leaves. So I chose that scene because it has quite a number of sound effects, and if you do your personal analyses, you can identify the different environments that you can design with. Okay? Sorry to those that don't understand Luganda, but if I can do a quick interpretation of the scene, where the border man says, okay, this particular story is about a border man and a lady, Kemi, Kemi is in rush to meet her friends at a bar. They have a program, but then the border man runs out of fuel. Midway, border is a motorcycle. For those who don't understand what a border is, it's a motorcycle that we use. It's a transport mean here. Many people use them to go to their different destinations. So there is a scuffle or an argument between the border man and Kemi, who is rushing to get to a particular destination, which is a liver bar, and the border man runs out of fuel midway. So Kemi is rushing and is telling the border guy that we've just passed a petrol station. Why did you even not think about refilling this particular what? Refilling your border. And the border guy is like, be patient. Let me just shake this tank and see if at all I have some fuel in the reserve tank, and then we proceed. This prompts Kimi to give like pay half the price of what they had agreed, which is 2,000. So they had agreed 4,000, but Kimi gives the borderman 2,000, which is not okay with him. So he tries to argue with her that this is not what we agreed upon. And the lady is like, but this is not my final destination. So I have to continue with the journey. I'm leaving you. I can't wait for it to get fuel, and then I will be late. So she decides to stop another border, and then she proceeds with her journey, on her journey. So that's the simple story about what this script is talking about. We'll be using this script for our sound design. Okay. We will be able to record and design this by the time we finish the 10th class. Everyone should have their assignment ready. Okay. We're just going to do a quick recap of what we've gone through today. We've run through like proper pre-production setups, reading through the script, then breaking it down, like then visiting the location, and having been able to read through the script and done the right breakdowns and visited the location for assessment, it will enable you to know and which kind of equipment you need to select for use during production. It will help you do the right assessment and know like work on the right sound effects that you need to use, work on the right music, and also what things that you need to highlight in the production as according to the demands of the scripts and the director. Then knowing your team so that you can work really well during the final production or even after the production. Yeah. Then the importance is this helps you to really thoroughly prepare according to the demands and the possible challenges so that you can overcome them. Then it helps you to highlight how like cohesively run this production, okay, on the final day. And also being able to run through pre-production and this script analysis will help you take informed creative decisions and contributions to the table when you're running it through with through this storyline with the other production members. Okay, thank you for attending, and I look forward to any questions that you might be having on this topic. So I open the discussion. If you want to add, I have some submissions. Feel free. The floor is open. Yes, Mazimpaka.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, Pete, for today's lesson. Yeah, it has been really simple, sound, and very clear. However, would you mind please repeat the assignment you say that we need to work on at least by the end of the workshop? We should be having it. Somehow it escaped me. I didn't catch it well, very well.
No, I mentioned that this script that I've shared will be the script that we'll do for our sound design class. we will later on we'll give the right instructions on how you have to record and design it. Okay, so at the end of the this class, like the entire class, like class 10 will be having each of you will be able to produce a fully recorded assignment and designed. You record and design. Okay, but that's the script.
Okay.
That's the episode that we'll deal with. Yes, Sonja.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Thank you. I also want to thank you on this lecture. I like you give us a big picture. I never thought about frequency range because some diplomat came, or what are the doors, and etc. etc. I have few questions. When you do assignment space, do you have any special technique how to do that?
When you're doing the assessment of the space.
Yes, the assessment, sorry.
Okay. One, look at the size of the space. When you visit this location, find out how big is this space? How many people are we expecting as audience members? Okay. So then note down that this space is able to accommodate 2,000 audience members or 10,000 audience members and so on. Then it will inform you which kind of speakers you need to use. Okay. Then assess how much echo do I have in this space. Okay. Then when it comes to the stage, okay, still on echo, when you do the assessment of the echo, it will inform you, do I need to carry some special proofing material for this space so that I match my space like this? Or if the people get into this space, how much echo do they swallow like river? Okay, how much do they eat up? And how much do I need to add into the space to match, like make it sound natural? When it comes to stage, also look at how big is this stage? How many performers do I have on this stage? How many stage monitors do I need to give them? Who needs the stage monitor according to the script and the actor's demands? Okay, or production demands. Then what kind of microphones can I use in this space according to the demands or the flow of the production?
Sorry, I want to interrupt you. You were talking about, you now repeat something, but do you use your voice, or you use, I mean, ear, or you use some sound, how to assess that? Because I'm very impressed about you people work with the sound. You can recognize metallic voice, soft voice. It's very strange for me because I'm not in this field. Is there any recommendation how to train your ears?
Yes. One, if you go into that space, sometimes you can clap and then use your ears to assess how long did it take for this clap to fade out. What, how much reverb or echo did I get when I clapped? You can use your voice to just shout in the space. And then you see how much time does it take to decay? How much reverb do I have there? Sometimes you can use the special microphones that are meant for that. You go with your microphone and a laptop or any other gadget, and then you do the right measurements.
Okay, thank you. And please, one more thing. When we do our assignment, do we need to use some software?
Yes, you'll need to use some softwares. Like last week, Emanzi ran through
I
some
think.
DAWs, and you
Uh-huh.
will still get another class on DAW so that you really understand how to use them.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You will be dealing with the entire process of recording, editing, and designing.
Okay.
Okay. Any other? Okay. Check. Some of you are saying that you are not able to receive emails. If you're part of the email chain, then you should be able to receive these emails. Because we sent the same, like all the previous 4 classes PDF files on the email chain that was also used to share this link. So if you were able to get this link that we are using now through that email chain, that means you were able to also receive these PDF files yesterday, because it has been happening from the second week. You've all been saying that some of you have been saying that you don't get these presentations. So yesterday we made it sure that we sent all the 4 in a particular email. So,
May I ask?
yes, go ahead and ask CMK.
What is, do we have today the homework?
No, this, you don't have homework. This is something that you'll have to present on the last day.
What it would be again? I didn't understand, because I see that you're I think that you have used some words that we have presentation, but what kind of presentation? I still don't understand. Sorry to ask.
Okay. By class 9, all of you should be able to have like recorded this scene that I just read through. You should be able to record it, edit it, edit the voices, and then do sound design for it. It's one scene. It will be like 1 minute, 1 or 2 minutes long. So you should be able to record it and then do the final post-production on it.
May I
Design
ask?
this.
Can
Yeah.
it be our scene from our play, or that scene that you were describing?
If this scene is hard for you, you can get one scene on of your own.
And
But it should cover all those. And when you're sharing, you should also be able to share its script. Okay. Before you go ahead to record, share a script, and then we run through it and give you heads up. A script. Yes, share the script of that scene before you record it, and then we see if at all it works or not. Reason where we chose this, it highlights quite a number of things that, like, it gives you enough space to work with when it comes to sound design.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Excuse me, sir,
Yes,
if I may
Mazimpaka.
suggest,
Yes.
if I may suggest something, my sister there, I think it would be best if we could all work on one scene, on one script, the same script. Is it possible for you to translate those Uganda words, put them in English, so that we can have a uniform assignment?
Oh yes, I will definitely do that. I'll do the
Yeah, I
transitions.
think
This
that would be
today, today this was just a sample script, and as I earlier communicated that we'll give you the final assignment with right directions in the coming classes.
Thank you.
But
Thank
we
you
will
so
be
much.
using this very sample script.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions or discussion, like contributions? Hello. Yes, Engineer Manzi.
Yeah, so I think it makes sense for all of us to work on the same script, because then we are uniform, then we can easily advise, you can easily compare your work with other people. So I think what Mr. Mazimpaka suggested might be the best solutions. So we'll translate and see if everyone can work on the same thing to have the uniformity. I think it makes a lot of sense.
I'm preparing my play because I'm in the middle of something that I'm preparing. I already have my ideas. I don't need somebody's idea, but thank you. I'm going to do my own thing. That's my message.
For proper assessment, okay, I will have this discussion with the organizers, but I think for proper assessment, it's good to have like one that we all follow. But this is also open for vote. We are in a democratic setting, so let's have a vote on that, whether we use one script or each gets like an alternative. But for proper assessment, I believe having one would really do justice. Let's have a vote on that. If okay, if you're in support of using one script, you can raise your hand for now. Then we do the counting.
Excuse me to interrupt. I just wanted to maybe suggest that if we can get the script in time and maybe analyze it, that she's suggesting she's working on, get scenes that can demonstrate all this. Maybe we could use her script, but for now we do not know. I don't know if maybe we can do the vote in the next class if her script is already submitted and we can agree when we've seen it and we know it is usable.
Yes, I get. Thank you, Engineer Manzi. But let's also have like a vote on this, and then we see. Those that say that we need one script, please raise your hands. For now, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I'm sorry, I'm driving. I cannot raise my hand at the moment. I will agree on whatever you decide.
Okay. So no. You need to first vote for now. Are you on the? Are you saying that we use one script or we go by everyone getting their own script? The vote is still up. Okay, so I'm
can
counting.
You hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
It's all the same to me. I mean, I can do whatever you decide.
Okay, thank you. So I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 hands. Okay, you can now put them down Those who are saying that let's go with it, like everyone gets their script. Let's now put our hands up. Those saying that we should get, each of us should use their own script. Let's have the hands up. Okay, we'll give it 30 more seconds to have those votes up. Those voting in favor of each of you using their choice of script, put the hands up.
I said my script. I don't know where is this.
Okay.
Important the hand. I said my script a few times.
Okay, so it seems like we have one voting for sending. So thank you, Mitrovic. You will send your script and we do a thorough assessment on it, and we see if it works. Then we will use that for you. Then the rest will use this one script. Okay. Thank you. Someone had a hand up. I think that was trying to look for. Oh, the names are disappearing. Where are they? Yes, Giovanna, you had your hand up. Giovanna, were you saying something? Okay. If we don't have any more questions for today or any other submissions, I would like to say thank you for attending today's class. Until we meet next week on Sunday, stay blessed.